Hi, today I'm gonna show you how to do this patchwork knit. Let's get started. Hello guys. Project today is how to get rid of those leftover yarns. Probably so many ways to get rid of the leftover yarn. And today I would like to show you how to do the patchwork knit. I'm not going to make any project today. I just want to show you how to do it. And then you can use your imagination to create something. Something small or something big. You can make some, the pot mat or a dog blanket. Anything you can think of. Anything is good. Some people think that I'm going to make square individually and sew them, two together, but it's not like that. I am going to make one little square and then you attached next yarn, then knit all over again. Well, it's actually better for me to show you how to do it. One important thing before I start is use same type of yarn, which means the thickness. One square is using the very chunky yarn, and the other one is very thin yarn. It doesn't work because the one is too big and the other one is too small with same stitch number. It won't work. So please find the yarn with same thickness. Knitting square is so easy. You need to focus on how to attach next color of yarn. That's what you need to focus on more. All right, so let's get started. Cast on multiple of 3. I made 21 cast, but I'll show you the special way to do the cast on. I don't know how it called, so I just say special cast on. Make one slip stitch on the hook and grab the needle with your left hand and then end tail face to you and the working yarn is far from you. Then grab the other needle, just knit one. Knit one, and how to hook onto the left needle is from front to back. Very simple method. Okay, and then again the first stitch you knit, then from front to back, and every time I create the stitch I kind of push them in, because if you make the stitch out front, the stitch is gonna go smaller and smaller, and it's gonna be really hard to push them in later on. So knit, then kind of push, little push, you know, like that, to create the stitch normal size. It's not gonna be too tight, right? So one more, knit, then grab it, knit the grab from front to back. That's about it. And again, cast should be multiple of 3. And I made 21. I want you to know two things. One, nothing to do with this project, but if you do cast this way, you can start from right side. As you can see, where is the working yarn when you turn the needle? There you go. So whenever you finish cast, your working yarn is ready to knit. And number two, this is something to do with this project. This cast creates a little bit loose edge. But if you don't like this, cast, don't worry about it. Just do it your way. I'm not going to worry about the right side or wrong side for this project, really. After cast, you have to find mid 3 stitch. And you can add 2 markers. The math is whole stitch minus 3 divided by 2. My case, 21 stitch minus 3 divided 2 is 9. So you have to count 9 from both ends. That's the mid 3 stitch. This is very important. If you don't have the pin type of marker, you can add markers in next row because next row is just all knit. But if you have a pin type, you can add it right now. It's really up to you. Row number 1 and row number 2 on it, but the first stitch always slip 1. Yarn front, slip 1 purlwise, always. Then yarn back because you have to knit, then on it. And then next row should be wrong side, doing same thing. Again, you have to add markers. And I'm actually counting 9 stitch from begin stitch, which is the slip 1 stitch is the begin. So you have to count that stitch. After you knit 9 stitch, including the slip stitch, add 1 marker. Then knit 3, then add another marker. This is mid 3 stitch. Very important for this project. Then rest of them should be 9. The stitch outside of the marker has to be same number always. So if you have one stitch, missing, you did something wrong. Easy to actually know you make a mistake, but I can't really tell which part you're, making mistake. But anyway, I'm just making sure, 3 stitch in the middle and then rest of them are all same stitch number. And as you can see, the bottom is right side and this side is wrong side. Again, if you want to start your project with right side, this cast on method is the perfect way to do. Well, maybe you have some way to do that, but this is one of the method. Anyway, row number 2, wrong side, yarn front, slip 1 purlwise, then yarn back and on knit, and meet you at row number 3. Row number 3, decreasing. Decreasing row is always on right side, which means odd number of the row. Slip 1, yarn front and slip 1 purlwise and yarn back and knit until first marker, which is, knit 8, right? and plus 1 slip, so which is 9 stitch before the marker. Here comes. Then remove the marker. This is important, so you gotta watch. Remove the marker and slide 1 stitch knitwise, like that. Then knit 2 together. Then PSO, which is pass slip stitch over. I'm picking up the wrong one because slide stitches 1 in front of knit 2 together. There we go. So you decrease 2 stitch here. Anyway, and after that knit 1, then put the marker back after you make knit 1. Then knit rest of them. This is decreasing method. Then row number 4, wrong side, you don't decrease any stitch. You just have to add the other marker for next row. Turn. Again, yarn front, slip 1 stitch purlwise, then yarn back because knit method, and knit until the marker. Again, I am going to add the other marker. It's on my table and preparing for next row. So in between markers, always 3 stitch, which means slide the marker and knit 3. Then add the other marker. There you go, knit 3, the other marker, then knit rest of them. So wrong side method is very easy. And you just have to repeat row number 3 and row number 4, which is right side and wrong side method, until the stitch number become 1. And you have to finish on right side. And now you decrease 2 stitch. So 1 from the start and 1 from the other side. One more time. The right side decreasing row, slip 1 purlwise and knit until first marker. And when you hit the first marker, remove the marker. Here comes. Then slip 1 knitwise, knit 2 together. You decrease 1 here by knit 2 together, right? Then past slip stitch over and then 1 down, so 2 stitch you decrease. Then temporarily remove the marker, knit 1, then put the marker right back and knit rest of them. Easy. Then turn the work. Wrong side method is just pretty much on it plus the place the marker after the 3 stitch right there. So do it again. Yarn front, slip purlwise and yarn back and knit until the marker. And whenever you hit the marker, slide the marker and knit 3 and place the other marker back. That's about it. And then I will show you when a stitch uh, or maybe 5 left or something, because it's a little bit tricky. It's easy, nothing to worry about, but some people may confuse. So I'll show you how to end and when to, end. There you go. I can see little shape. And if you're worried, you always count and make sure. Some people think, I'm not making square, but I am. There you go. It will look like this. I just made the one corner there like that. And it's going to be square. Don't worry about it. So just keep, doing same thing. And here comes. This is wrong side. I just decreased 2 stitch in previous row and then 5 stitch left. Yarn front, slip 1 purlwise and slide the marker right away because there's no stitch. Then knit 3 and add the other marker and knit last one. That total of 5 stitch. Here it comes. And there's only one left, so knit 1. Now, right side, decreasing method kicks in. The first stitch, same as before, yarn front, slip 1 purlwise. Then the marker is right after, so remove the marker, slip 1 knitwise. Then same thing, knit 2 together and knit 2 together, then pass the slip stitch over. There you go. Then knit 1. Now you have a 3 stitch. Turn the work. This is wrong side. So slip 1 purlwise, then knit 2. Easy. No more, markers, obviously. And then right side. There's only 3 stitches, so decreasing right away. Slip 1 knitwise. No more, slip 1 purlwise. Slip 1 knitwise. Knit 2 together. Then PSO. Now you have only 1 stitch left. Finish. No more wrong side. Once you hit the 1 stitch left, that's it. And cut the yarn. And if you want to weave the ends off now, you can do it, but I'm not going to. And I just want to show you on the edge. That's the cast edge. It's a little bit loose, as you can see, but it's okay. I'm gonna knit up later on. Here comes. It's beautiful edge. That's because you did the slip, stitch, and easy to knit up later on. There you go. There's the pink one too, and I am not going to sew. All right, I'm going to knit right on the green square. Now I want to talk about the stitch number on the edge. Every edge has 10 stitch except the corner. And I made 21 cast on to start, which means 10 and 10 plus one corner makes 21 cast, right? And then now I want to attach one other square sharing one edge, right? Which is 10 stitch. So 21 cast minus 10 is 11. So I'm going to make 11 cast on with different color of yarn. I'm going to use yellow. Then again, make 11 cast on. Then let's talk about how to attach it. Again, you don't really have to do this cast. Just a regular way will be okay because you don't really need to know which side is right or wrong, side with this project, right? But the most important thing is how to attach. Now I made the 11 stitch, then knit up 10 stitch. And this is very easy. Just knit up on the edge too. And as you can see, this method, this row considers first row. This is right side you're facing to. So after you knit up, you turn the work, which is wrong side, and row number 2. This is very important. So you're not going to knit 2 rows after this, only 1 row, because next row should be row number 2. So before start, I'm adding pin type of the marker, mid 3 stitch, do not forget, and again 9 stitch each, right? Then turn the work. Row number 2 is just all knit except the first stitch. Yarn front and slip 1 purlwise and all knit. After that, it's gonna be same pattern. On the right side, you have to decrease 2 stitch, and then wrong side, pretty much all knit, plus add the other marker. That's about it. There we go. This is end of row number 2. Now you attached yellow yarn. Okay, and that's right side, easy to figure it out now. Then let's do that once more. Yarn front and slip 1 purlwise and knit until the marker. And I don't really like the pin type marker for this project because it's too big, so I am going to switch to the other one. Anyway, just knit. Remove the marker slip 1 knitwise, knit 2 together, and pass slip stitch over. Then remove the marker temporary and knit 1, then put the marker back. There you go. Then knit rest of them. This is the decreasing method. And here comes pretty much end of the square. I'm facing to right side, so slide 1 knitwise, knit 2 together, then pass the slip stitch over, then knit 1. And don't decrease right after this. You still have to do the wrong side. See, I'm confusing a little bit. I'm trying to decrease right now, but I'm wrong, okay? This is wrong side, so, which is slip 1 purlwise and knit 2. Then, when you turn the work and facing to right side, you have to do decreasing. The last decreasing, which is, this is the last row. So that's the part. It's a little bit tricky because once you remove the marker, I get confused. This is the last row. No, it's not. Okay, and cut the yarn. There you go. Now 2 together. And let's start adding one more square. I just want to show you how to connect. All right, so maybe on the side of the yellow, just like that. Okay. Again, make 11 cast and do exactly same thing. You have to knit up 10 stitch on the yellow edge. That's about it, and you start all over again. After you learn how to make square, the only thing you need to know is how to attach the next square. That's about it, and everything else is the same. And I'll show you a couple more example how to attach. So this is the end of the third square. And after this, I am going to show you how to attach another square in between red and green square. Here comes. Again, I am going to add one more square in between red and green, which means you already know you don't need to make any cast. You just knit up 10 from red side and 10 from green, then 1 in between. So again, you're picking up 10 on the red edge and meet you end of the red. I knit up 9, so I need one more knit up on the red edge. Then you need to pick up 1 knit up in between kind of red and green on the corner. Then another 10 stitch you have to knit up. Makes total of 21 stitch. Then after this, start all over again. Add two markers for the mid three stitch, and then start all over. This is considered as row number one. So when you turn the project, it's gonna be second row, which is all knit. So again, important thing is when you attach the new yarn, you have to face to the right side. That's about it. And add mid three stitch marker, has to be evenly. There you go. So let's knit again. That's the wrong side, second row. As you can see, it's very easy. I've done 4 square together. Now I want to actually attach big square, same size of those 4 square, which means 2 edge, 20 stitches. Forget about the mid stitch because I am going to make big square. So 20 stitch on yellow and green, which means I have to make 21 cast. And forget about the multiple of 3 cast anymore. That's the very beginning. So 21, which includes the mid corner stitch, then 20 knit up from yellow and green. Very simple. One edge has 20 stitch, which means you have to have 20 stitch on the other side, then add 1 stitch for the corner. That's why I made 21 stitch. New cast, then knit up 20 stitch from the green and yellow. Okay, I am adding the 1 corner stitch, make it 21 stitch total. Then start all over. Same thing, just a different stitch number and different size of the square. That's pretty much about it. 21 again, and then knit up 20 stitch across the green and yellow. And I am actually doing bad example right here. I'm picking up only 1 stitch here, and I'll show you later. It looks a little bit different. You knit up with 2 stitch. You can't really tell the difference, between yellow and green, but you will see. I'll show you later. Okay, so let's add mid 3 stitch markers. How you figured it out? It's easy. 41 total stitch number minus 3 divided by 2 is 19. So count 19 stitch from both ends. Then add the marker. And between 2 marker has to be 3 stitch. You're now making the big square. Doesn't mean anything. The corner mid stitch is always 3. Please remember that. So now let's start all over again. And I'm gonna show you every single row again, but again, the knit up is the count as first row. So when you turn, this is second row. So just slip 1 purl wise, then all knit. Next time you turn, that's going to be third row. And here comes last 3 stitch. And I believe I am facing to right side. That's why I'm doing decreasing method here. This is gonna be last row. Soon as your stitch number hits 1, that's it. You gotta finish on right side. And after this, you can cut the yarn. Here it comes. And again, I'm just showing you, how to do the patchwork knit. I'm not really thinking of the color pattern or anything. I used, the yarn that I can show you easy to see, right? So anyway, so you can use the imagination, make the color pattern, before you start. And here is the one I was talking about, the green stitch. You can see little holes because I only picked one, loop, right? So if you, knit with the 2 loop of the stitch, it's more solid like that. But if you pick only one, loose, you don't really have to worry too much. But the 2 loop knit up, it looks much better. There you go. This is the 2 loop, right? And this side you can't really see, but just like that, 2 loops. That's 1 loop, right? So has to be 2 loop like that. That's about it. As long as you know how to create the square and how to attach, it's all yours. And I'm showing you that how to attach smaller square on the edge of the bigger square. You just need the half stitch of the one side of the edge, right? That's pretty much it. This is great project when you're watching TV or nothing to do. Create the little by little, and don't waste your leftover yarn. Enjoy knitting.